こんにちは、皆さん。今日、私たちは日本語を勉強しています。質問があれば、私に聞いてください. Greetings, everyone. Today we're studying Japanese. If you have any questions, then feel free to ask me at any time. We're gonna continue with immersion with Card Captor Sakura.
ったく、月城とやってうちの部員かなうわけないじゃんかよ。
Who, uh, Otaku, which is short for Mataku, which, Mataku means sort of like completely, but in this context, it tends to be used to mean like I completely can't believe this, or I can't believe this kind of thing. So, and taku is just a short for mataku. Let's see. Uh, Tsukishiro to uh, Tsukishiro to yatte uchi no fuin uchi no fuin kana ka let's see. Oh, kanao wakenai jankayo. So this is probably janai, so janaika. So I don't. Let's see. Does it not exist? What I don't understand? Or yeah, fooling is club members. No, to twine, trendy, to do. Yeah, okay, so this mataku at the beginning is just mataku. Okay, completely, really, and truly. Is this truly happening, or I can't believe it's how it generally gets used? Mataku or taku. Let's see, Tsukishiro. With Tsukishiro did it. Uchi no Fuin, our club members. Please explain the grammar of this. Wait, isn't this taku short for mataku? Yes, you're absolutely correct. In this context, taku is a colloquial abbreviation of mataku. It's shortened form of the interjection mataku, often written as sutaku in manga or casual speech, meaning it functions as a exclamation of frustration, annoyance, exasperation. It translates to phrases like good grief, she's honestly. Let's see. Tsukishita Toyate. So playing with Tsukishita or dealing with Tsukishita. Okay, so in this case, it's playing with Tsukishita. Uchino Buin. Kana Wakenai Chan Kayo. There's no way our club members can match him. So Kanao is to match, to compete with, or to stand up to. True, to suit, to match. Here we go. Yeah, to match, to be a match for, to rival. Let's see, walking night. There's no possible way. Wait, this is wakenai. Oh, this is not from wakeru. This is from wake, reason, and then nai, negation of that. Not to be confused with this word. Wakaru. To distinguish, to differentiate, discriminate, to differentiate. Transitive. Let's see. Does wakeru carry any sort of understanding meaning? No, wakeru does not carry any understanding meaning. It is a transitive verb that probably means to divide, to separate, to split, to classify. In contrast, wakaru, which is often confused with wakeru due to shared kanji, is a term that means to understand, comprehend, to be clear. While wakaru's etymology evolved from the concept of separating or distinguishing parts, similar to wakeru, in modern usage they are distinct. Wakeru, to physically and metaphorically divide something, dividing a cake, separating a group. Wakaru, to grasp the meaning or nature of something. Because when you divide something into its parts, you're understanding it metaphorically. Hence why wakaru has that meaning. So wakaru is intransitive, and wakeru is transitive, which means doing it to a physical object. Okay. or at least a metaphorical object. So the fact that we see wakenai and dividing of parts doesn't make any sense here should have been the clue to us that this is the wake as in reason, and we're saying the reason does not exist. Let's see, wakenai. So reason doesn't exist, or in other words, there's no way that isn't wake let's see. Isn't wakenai considered two words? No, in Japanese, wakenai is considered a single word, specifically an adjective or expression, not two separate words. While it is composed of two kanji, they function together as a unified lexical unit. According to dictionaries like Nihongo Master and Jisho, it is listed as one entry with the meaning of no reason or easy or simple, often translated to English phrases like there's no way. Can it mean... So it can't be two separate words meaning reason does not exist, or wake nai and nai. See, wake, reason, logic, circumstances, nai, an adjective meaning non-existence or none. Despite the two components, Japanese linguistics and in dictionaries classify wakenai, or usually wakenai, okay, as a single lexical unit. Okay. While it originates from the phrase reason does not exist, in modern Japanese usage, wakenai is treated as one single adjective. Okay, so タク、月仕事やって、うちの部員、うちの部員、うちの部員、叶う、わけない、じゃんかよ。See, I believe this John is from Janai, isn't it? is Jankayo from Janaiyo. Yes, Jankayo is derived from Janaiyo. So, see, our club able to match. Let's see. Reason does not exist, or there's no way. So, there's no way our club is able to match. And then they say, so to be our club not able to match does not exist. Okay. Is there no way our club is not able to match? Let's see, what's the other translation say for it? Let's see, man, going up against Tsukishiro, there's no way our club members stand a chance. So what is the reason for using Janaika at the end? It seems like everything is already taken care of with the rest of the sentence. Let's see, why is Janaika used at the end? It's used in a sentence to function as a rhetorical question that asserts a fact rather than asking for information. Strong assertion, obvious. Unlike a standard question, the speaker does not expect an answer because the answer is considered obvious. It translates to, it is obviously X, isn't it? See, it is X. Linguistic studies distinguish Janaika from Desho, where Desho asks for confirmation of an opinion. Janai demands that the listener simply recognizes or acknowledge a fact that the speaker believes is true. Janai, okay. So is Uchino buin kanao wakinai inside of the Janai phrase? Okay, so is that inside let's see, is that the topic of the Janai ka? Yes, the plot is the topic, or more precisely, the content being asserted by Janai ka. See, this is a complete thought, meaning there's no way our club members can match. Okay, so when you say it without the question, it's like saying there's no way our club members to match. When you say it with the question, it's a rhetorical question saying, is there any way our club members can match? And then who they're referring to happened in the earlier of the sentence. So, Tsukishi, playing with Tsukishido, there's no way our club members can. Okay, playing with Tsukishido, is there any way our club members can match? Or, let's see, or like, really? Playing with Tsukishido, is there any way our club members can match? So, Taku, Tsukishido to yatte, uchi no buin, kanao wake nai jan kayo.
たく月城とやってうちの部員かなうわけないじゃんかよ。
そんなことないですよ。
とやってうちの部員かなうわけないじゃんかよ。
そんなことないですよ。
Sonakoto nai desu yo, or that's not true. Another basically saying, yeah, you can probably beat me in a match. Sonakoto nai desu yo. Sonakoto nai desu yo.
月城とやってうちの部員かなうわけないじゃんかよ。
そんなことないですよ。はい。ありがとうございます。
まだやるの？
まだやるの? I thought it was only 100 yen. Why is he holding 200 yen? Maybe he thinks he's gonna need 2 more times?
まだやるの?
まだやるの? Let's see, and he says it as, let's see, you wanna go play again? And
まだやるの? まだやるの?
Yeah, he's basically almost sounds like that slurring we heard earlier of Yano, basically Yaru no to Yano.
まだやるの?
あとぬいぐるみ2個分。
あとぬいぐるみ
やるの?
あとぬいぐるみ2個分。
2個分 So, あとぬいぐるみ2個分 So, interesting, they use kobun. Why are they using kobun? I think he's basically trying to say I need 2 more stuffed animals. Please explain the grammar of let's see, boon, a suffix meaning amount, portion, or equivalent to. Nico, okay, the counter for small solid objects, so 2 items, okay. Combined interpretation. This phrase likely means another 2 stuffed animals worth. Okay, let's see. Noun plus counter boon is commonly used for portions such as amount for 5 people, 1 road's worth. Let's see, Ichikai boon, one round worth. Okay. Goko boon, amount for 5 people. Why is boon being used instead of just Nico? The suffix boon changes the meaning from a simple count to a quantity, portion, or equivalent. So Nico means 2 items. It counts discrete individual objects. Examples are about 2 stuffed animals. Nico boon means the amount equivalent to 2 items, or a portion for 2. It treats the quantity as a measurable bulk volume or value rather than a distinct unit. I ate 2 servings worth of 2 servings worth of food. Or this box holds a volume of 2. Okay, so you use boon when the focus is on the volume, capacity, cost, duration, represented by the number rather than the objects themselves. So enough liquid to fill 2 cups, not 2 physical cups. Space equivalent to 2 stuffed animals. Okay. Okay. So I think in this sentence he's trying to imply he needs stuffed animals for 2 more people. Not saying necessarily staying not necessarily saying 2 stuffed animals. Let's see, the other translator says like oh, and 2 stuffed animals worth. So all it really says is boon focuses more on not so much the physical object, but when you use it as with the counter, but on the quantity required for something, like like if you need 2 boxes of stuffed animals. But he doesn't mean that in this case. I think he's implying he needs it to be able to enough units of stuffed animals for 2 more people, which in this case just happens to be 1 per person. So, ato nuigurumi ni kobun.
まだやるの？
あとぬいぐるみ2個分。
月城、うちの部屋入ってくれよ。月城、うちの
一の部へ入ってくれよ. Or please give us joining our club. In other words, please join our club. And I believe this is the informal kureru. Let's see. くれる Let's see. Imperative, yes. Kure, yes. So just telling someone join our club. Okay. Let's see. So uchi no bue haite. Yeah, and haite is the intransitive. Yes. Okay. So uchi no bue haite kureyo. I'm guessing they are using e here instead of ni because I guess it's not going to a specific target. You're just joining an organization. You're not saying where in the organization to join, I guess. In this, why does it use or pronounced he when it's actually in a word and not a particle instead of ni? Primarily to emphasize the direction of movement, joining the group rather than the static destination. While ni can mark the destination of entry, arriving at a place, is preferred for two reasons. Emphasis on trajectory. Highlights the act of moving towards the group or entering the sphere of the club, fitting the dynamic of the verb haidu. Because haidu is intransitive. Natural flow and avoidance of repetition. Using avoids potential clunkiness of stacking particles if other ni instances were present, and it carries a slight, more formal or literary nuance often found in invitations or appeals. In many motion contexts, ni and are interchangeable, but is chosen when the speaker wants to focus on the path or heading towards the destination rather than just the endpoint. So coming into the sphere, not coming to a specific area, so they use an e. So uchi no bun e haite kureyo.
月城うちの部屋入ってくれよ。
考えておきます。
ってくれよ。
考えてokimasu. So kangaeru, to think, and that's the logical thinking, not the emotional thinking. Let's see. Okimasu. This is probably from oku, or to put in place. So in other words, I'll put in place thinking about it, or aka I'll think about it. Kangaete okimasu.
月城うちの部屋入ってくれよ。
考えておきます。
Booing touchy.
そろそろ時間だ。
Soro, jikanda. So, that's right, it's time.
そろそろ時間だ。
何の時間ですの？
Nan no jikan desu no. What is it time for?
そろそろ時間だ。
何の時間ですの？
劇だよ。うちのクラスの体育館でやるんだ。
Geki da yo. Uchi no kurasu no. Taiku-kan gymnasium. So it comes from body. Let's see, bring up, grow up, raise up, and then building, mansion. So body bringing up, building, aka gymnasium, since I guess you do muscle development in a gymnasium. Taiku-kan, so Genki Genki da yo. Uchi no wa kurasu Taiku-kan でやるんだ。So, uh, the drummer, our class, let's see, our class is, our class is gymnasium? Let's see, our classrooms, and then dash for denoting location. So doing at the, that's strange. This grammar looks like it is saying our class's gymnasium. That doesn't make sense. While my class's gymnasium sounds unusual for a school facility, the grammar was correct. It likely refers to a gymnasium reserved for or used by that specific class, or is slight colloquialism for the gymnasium where the class is performing. So, uchi no kurasu, okay, my classes, Taikukan Gymnasium. Find the sentences full grammar. Yeah, one of the important things about seeing a non-study material is that you get to see examples of how people phrase things. Because you cannot just use English phrasing in Japanese. You have to learn how to phrase things in a Japanese way. Grammar note. While schools usually have one shared gymnasium, grammatically this implies that the gym's reserved for the class's use at that time, or the gym where their specific event is happening. Okay, so when they say my class's gymnasium, they're referring to that their class is reserved to have, so that for that moment in time, it's their class's gymnasium. So, geki dayo, uchi no class no taiiku kan. Geki dayo, uchi no class no taiiku kan de yarunda. So the drummer, my class is doing it at the gymnasium.
時間だ。
何の時間ですの？
劇だよ。うちのクラスの体育館でやるんだ。
お兄ちゃんも出るんですか？
うん。うちのクラスの体育館でやるんだ。
お兄ちゃんも。
お兄ちゃんも出るんですか？ So, deru to appear. So in other words, my brother's also appearing. Is my brother also appearing in it? In other words, is my brother in the drama?
うちのクラスの体育館でやるんだ。
お兄ちゃんも出るんですか？
うん。
何の役なのかな？
何の
お楽しみかな。それは見て。
か？
うん。
何の役なのかな？
何の役なのかな。Please explain the grammar of so a noun meaning role, part, or function, yaku. Here you get role, assignment, responsibility. So nan no yaku no kana. I wonder what role my brother has.
劇だよ。うちのクラスの体育館でやるんだ。
お兄ちゃんも出るんですか？
うん。
何の役なのかな？
それは見てからのお楽しみかな。
それは見てからのお楽しみかな。Let's see. As for that, as for that, see, from looking, from looking, but they have no otanoshimi, so amusing, fun. Kara no. Please explain the grammar of let's see. That's something to look forward to after watching it, I suppose. Let's see. Refers to the topic at hand. Mite kara. This combines the te form for me to watch to see with the particle kara. Let's see. No otanashimi. The enjoyment of. The treat reserved for. Okay, the particle no connects the time condition after watching to the noun otanashimi, enjoyment, fun, treat. Kana, sentence ending particle indicating speculation, wonder, or soft assertion. It translates to I wonder, perhaps, or don't you think? So te kara no otanashimi. So te kara indicates that an action must be completed before the next state or action occurs. It emphasizes the sequence of first to acts, or in other words, in this case, first to watch, and then Y applies. No, in this context, no acts as a normalizer or a connector that turns the preceding clause after watching into a modifier for the following now enjoyment. It defines the timing. It defines the timing of the enjoyment. So tanoshimi, this is the honorific form adding o to tanoshimi, enjoyment, is often used idiomatically to mean a treat, a surprise, or something to look forward to. In an entertainment context, it frequently refers to a bonus feature or plot twist or a secret that is withheld to preserve the experience. By combining mite kara no otanoshimi, literally means the enjoyment that exists and the time after watching it. It implies that knowing the secret now would ruin the enjoyment that is specifically designed to happen after the viewing. So let's see, in this context, no acts as a normalizer or connector that turns the preceding clause after watching into a modifier following the noun enjoyment. Enjoyment. Does this mean you'll enjoy it by watching it, or the enjoyment comes after watching it? And so the translator says, I guess you have to wait and see. The enjoyment comes after watching it, not during the act of watching it. In this specific context, the phrase mite kara literally means after watching, and once you have watched, the grammar structure verb te plus kara explicitly marks the completion of an action as the starting point for what follows. So therefore, mite kara no otanoshimi, the treat or enjoyment that begins only after the watching is finished, it implies during the watching you experience a story or event without knowing the specific secret or twist. After the watching, the enjoyment realization, surprise bonus content or satisfaction hits you. So you're enjoyed after watching it, or wait and see, I guess. So you have after watching enjoyment. After watching is sort of like acting like a modifier. That's why it has that normalizer no on it. After watching it, enjoyment. So kana. So you're probably, or in other words, I want having that's kind of your wonder moment that they were a wonder moment. But let's see, kana. I guess, yeah, I wonder perhaps, or don't you think? So perhaps you're enjoyed after watching it. So, それは見てからのお楽しみなかな?
お兄ちゃんも出るんですか？
うん。
何の役なのかな？
それは見てからのお楽しみかな。
出るんですか？
出るんですか? Are you in the play? Yeah, I believe this is a reference to the earlier line of Dedun, like when they were saying he was in the play. And so, like, Dedu literally means to come out, essentially, and it can be used like in the sense of a ghost appearing, coming out, or appearing in a play, coming out. Derun desu ka?
出るんですか？
僕？うん。
Boku, un, or I, yes.
出るんですか？
僕？うん。
何の役なんですか？
何のyarun nan desu ka? So, what role do you have?
出るんですか？
僕？うん。
何の 役なんですか？
サバの缶詰。
サバの漢字。Con consomme, canned food, tinned food, confining someone so they can concentrate on work, being stuck in a confined space. Wait, is he saying he's a... And then Saba. Okay, so Saba macro. So Saba Kanzume, in other words, canned macro, is his role in the play. Or let's see, Kanzume comes from tin can, container, jar, reticle, and let's see, packed, close, preserve, reprove, rebuke, blame. Okay, it's a slightly different kanji, though very similar. So packed and tin can makes canned food. So Saba no banzume.
何の役なんですか？
サバの缶詰。僕？
何の役なんですか？
Oh, yeah, yaku, yeah. Nan no yaku nan desu ka? So what role? And then
サバの缶詰。
Saba no kanzume, or canned mackerel.
サバ缶詰。
なんだか美味しそうな役ですね。なんだか
Nandaka. Let's see. I guess. What reason? Let's see. Oiso. Oiso na yaku desu ne. Oh, I think it's supposed to be for some reason. That's a delicious roll. That's a delicious looking roll. For some reason or somehow, essentially. Nandaka oiso na yaku desu ne.
なんだか美味しそうな役ですね。
そうなんだよね。サバの缶詰って美味しいよね。
そうなんだよね。サバの缶詰って美味しいよね。That's right. Canned mackerel is delicious.
美味しそうな役ですね。
そうなんだよね。サバの缶詰って美味しいよね。はあ。
Piano no. Musical performance. Okay, inso. From performance and then play. Inso. Let's see. Macro was. Oh, yeah, saba, not soba, but saba, okay. Yeah, soba is the buckwheat noodles, and saba is mackerel, okay?
って美味しいよね。
次は2年 D 組による演劇シンデレラです。次は
次は、2年 D
2年 D 組による演劇
演劇。Let's see. 次は2年, so D gum. What is gumi? What is this kanji? The Kumi, class of students, group of people, party, team. So D class, essentially. And she says it as...
次は2年 D 組による演劇次は2年 D 組による次は2年 D 組による
Okay, so it's Kumi, but I guess because of the Tintin word, she pronounces it as Gumi. Tintin rule. So Sugi wa 2年 D 組による演劇 or play, drama. So in other words, it's drama and then performance. Remember, we just saw this in inso or musical performance, and this is engeki, a drama performance essentially, or a drama. Sugi wa 2年 D 組による演劇. So see, is this a... Let's see. So next up, from the second year Class D, let's see, yaru ni... Is that just how you say... Can you say yaru ni to say you're doing a drama? Let's see. Please explain the grammar of... Oh yeah. Announce... Announce... Or announcer. Or announcement, maybe, actually. Announcement, yes. Announce. Noun plus niyoru. In this specific context, niyoru indicates a source, origin, or agent of an action or creation. It translates best as by or presented by or produced by. It is frequently used in formal context titles and announcements to credit the creator of the performer, while the particle no can also mean of or by. So, ninen digumi no engeki, using niyoru. Oh, this is yoru, not yaru. To be caused by, to depend on, to turn on, to be based on. So, ni yoru indicates source. Okay. Using ni yoru as a nuance of active agency or performance, it emphasizes that class 2D is the group performing or staging the event rather than just possessing it. This form is standard for program listings, news reports, a report by, or scientific discoveries, a theory by. So it's what type of drama? It's a drama being presented by class 2D. So that whole phrase is a modifier for the drama. So, sugi wa 2年 digumi ni yoru engeki.
次は2年 D 組による演劇シンデレラです。
Cinderella des, or Cinderella.
次は2年 D 組による演劇シンデレラです。
D 組ってさくらちゃんのお兄様のクラスですわよね。
D 組って、D 組ってさくらちゃんのお兄様のクラスですわよね。So, Sakura's older brother's class. Okay. So as for class D, that's Sakura-chan's older brother's class. So digumite, yeah. You usually use the sute when you want to like talk about the subject, like aspects of it. So an aspect of this class D is that it's Sakura-chan's oldest brother's class. So digumite Sakura-chan no Onisama no Kurasu desu wa yo ne.
演劇シンデレラです。
D 組ってさくらちゃんのお兄様のクラスですわよね。
シンデレラになんで沢の缶詰が出てくるんだ。
お兄様のクラスですわよね。
シンデレラに
シンデレラになんでサバの缶詰が出てくるんだ。So with Cinderella, what reason would a can of a tuna give an appearance? In other words, why is there a can of a mackerel? Yeah, with what reason would a can of mackerel appear? So in other words, why is there a can of mackerel? Why is there a can of mackerel character in the Cinderella play? So, シンデレラになんでサバの缶詰が出てくるんだ。缶詰。So シンデレラになんでサバの缶詰が出てくるんだ。
シンデレラです。
D 組ってさくらちゃんのお兄様のクラスですわよね。
シンデレラになんで沢の缶詰が出てくるんだ。
開演のバザー Let's see. Yes, Cayenne no buzzer, or in other words, curtain rising or the starting buzzer. So opening of a play, or in other words, the starting of the play, or Cayenne. So play starting buzzer. Cayenne no buzzer.
ですわよね。
シンデレラになんで沢の缶詰が出てくるんだ。
昔あるところにシンデレラという
Let's see. シク
昔
To spread out, to lay down, okay. To pin down, to impose widely, let's see. Shiku, inevitability of death. Shiku, the 4 kinds of suffering. Shiku, to match. Let's see. In the context of Cinderella cleaning the floor, why would she say Shiku, Shiku, Shiku? Let's see, Shiku is an onomatopoeia for softly sobbing or weeping. If Cinderella is shown cleaning the floor while crying because of her stepfamily's treatment, a Japanese comic or subtitle might describe the emotional state as shiku shiku or sniffle sniffer rather than her speaking those words. The repetition shiku 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 would emphasize a continuous quiet sobbing while she works. So softly sobbing or weeping. It's the word representing that. Instead of actually doing the sobbing or weeping, he's just saying shiku shiku over and over again.
あるところに昔あるところに
昔あるところに Let's see. A long time ago in a certain place. Let's see, the old days, a long time ago. Let's see. Explain the grammar of. Let's see. Narration. See, mukashi, aru tokoro ni. Okay, once upon a time in a certain place.
昔あるところにシンデレラというそれはけなげで美しい少女がいました。
シンデレラ Okay, let's see. Shindere to you. それはけなげで Let's see. Wait, おいしい少女がいました。それは very extremely, that is. Kenage, admirable, commendable, praiseworthy, laudable, brave, heroic, noble, courageous. Let's tell you one way to mark a topic or to talk about a topic. So to say Cinderella, in other words, ask for Cinderella and then describing her after that. Sorewa, very, very admirable. Let's see. Wait, what? Utsukushi. Okay, praiseworthy, noble. Let's see. So, let's see. So, a beautiful young girl. Let's see, girl, usually between 7 and 17, young lady, or female between 17 and 20. Ritsuyo period. Archaic. Oh, okay, that's the official age range of shoujo, 7 to 17. Let's see. See, imashita. So, a beautiful young girl existed, and then this dad describes. Oh, noble dad. Okay, yeah, this is the na for connecting Kyodoshi, but it's in its connective form. And the reason it's in its connective form is because there's another descriptor in front of it. So they have to use it in its connective form. So there's a noble, beautiful young girl existed. And then sorewa. Why is that there? Let's see, once upon a time, there was a girl named Cinderella, a truly sweet and beautiful girl. Wow, I see the translation software added once upon a time because Cinderella is generally used with once upon a time a lot. Said as Cinderella or called Cinderella essentially. So what is the sorewa doing there? Please explain the grammar of this. Let's see. Cinderella toiu, a girl named Cinderella, or such as Cinderella. Sorewa. An emphatic yet verbal phrase means so very or extremely. Kenage de utsukushii shoujo ga imashita. There was a brave / loyal and beautiful girl. So is this just extremely? Does sorewa mean extremely? And it applies to both kenage and utsukushi. Yes, you're correct on both accounts. Sorewa is an emphatic adverbial phrase that translates to extremely or very. It is a reduplicated form of sorewa used to express strong emotion, surprise, or emphasis. If it was only a single sorewa, would it mean extremely? Yes, a singular sorewa can also mean extremely or very when used as an adverb. However, there is a difference in emphasis. Sorewa means very or extremely. It adds a standard level of emphasis to the adjective. Sorewa utsukushi, it is very beautiful. Sorewa is a reduplicated form that intensifies the meaning further. It translates to so very or incredibly or exceptionally. It conveys a strong emotional reaction, often implying surprise. Okay, deep admiration or sympathy. Let's see. So, how did sorewa come to mean extremely? It literally means that, which is what kind of strange. It's like saying that. How did sorewa come to mean extremely? Sorewa simply refers to something distant from the speaker that, by repeating the phrase sorewa, the speaker shifted its function from a simple pointing to an intensifier. This repetition adds emotional weight, transforming the neutral that into that very or extremely. Etymological shift. As noted in linguistic sources, the duplicated form is explicitly derived from the base sorewa, but the repetition creates a new semantic layer of emphasis or amazement. Emphasis, okay, is used to mean very or extremely or what, okay. Polite gratitude. In social context, it often serves as a humble, polite way to express thank you very much or acknowledge a kindness with a deep appreciation, effectively meaning that is very kind of you. Surprise. It can also function as an interjection expressing surprise or amazement. In summary, the meaning of extremely arises not from the word sore itself, but from the rhetorical effect of repetition. So only when it is repeated does it mean extremely. Does sorewa only mean extremely when repeated? No, does not only mean extremely when repeated. Sorewa probably means that is, or it is. Okay. See, in casual speech, it can also be a contraction of sorya to mean well, yes, or to agree. So, single usage, sorewa means that is or it is. Repeated usage, the phrase sorewa, repeating the word functions as an adverb meaning very or extremely. Okay. Okay, so when it's used a single time, it carries its more of its that meaning, and then when it's repeated, it carries more of its extremely meaning. So in other words, you're implying something's extremely by saying like that repeatedly at something. So, kenage. So, I guess maybe in this case they mean brave. So, there was a girl named called Cinderella that was extremely brave and beautiful. Cinderella toyu sore wa kenage de utsukushii shoujo ga imashita.
シンデレラというそれはけなげで美しい少女がいました。
この声 that voice.
シンデレラは毎日ママ母や姉たちにいじめられていましたが、それでシンデレラは毎日
シンデレラは毎日 So, as for Cinderella, every day. Let's see. Narration.
シンデレラは毎日ママ母や姉たちにいじめられていましたが、シンデレラは毎日ママ母や姉たちにいじめ
Let's see. Mama haha ya anetachi. Anetachi ni ijimerarete imashita ga. Wait, mama is unchanged state or original, so mama hachi, mama haha would be original mother or
シンデレラは毎日ママ母や姉たちにいじめ
see ane. Sister-in-law.
シンデレラは毎日ママ母や姉たちにいじめ シンデレラは毎日ママ母や姉たちにいじめ
Okay, so they're using the word ane or see, yeah, ane, yeah, let's see. Oni, one. Yeah, ani. Yeah, ane, that's right. Any So Anetachi, your sisters, Mama haha, stepmother. What is that kanji? Let's see, inherit, succeed, continue, patch, grant. Okay, so this is not the same mama. Mama haha. So inherited mother, so in other words, stepmother. Mama ha ya. Anetachi. Now the kanji they're using for this is gishi, which sister-in-law comes from loyalty and then elder sister or sister-in-law. But they're saying the word ane, which is just a more general word for sister. So in the actual dialogue, they're not specifying that this is Cinderella's stepsisters, but in the kanji they are. And this sentence, is there an implication to the fact that ane was used? The use of ane in this context carries a specific linguistic nuance regarding social distance and politeness. Ane is the standard polite term used to refer to someone else's older sister or to address one's own older sister in a respectful manner. In contrast, ani for older brother. Implications of distance. By using ane instead of the more intimate and casual term ne, the speaker indicates a degree of emotional distance or formality. This is consistent with the rest of the sentence, the formal structure. Mama haha ya. Okay. As noted in the community discussion, there's nothing inherently ironic or unusual about ane. It's the correct polite term for older sister, specifically one's spouse's sister, indicating, okay. The choice reflects the speaker's detached or formal tone when describing. Okay, that's for something else. So, Mama haha ya ane tachi ni ijimerarete imashita ga. Ijimeru, to ill-treat, to bully, to torment, to pick on, to tease, to be cruel to. So, and then this is converted into the receptive tense or the passive tense. So, ijimerarete imashita. So, receptive, continuous. In other words, continuously receiving ill treatment from their stepmother and their sisters. So in this case, it would be like Cinderella was treated badly by her stepmother and older sisters, but, and this ga has that but meaning to it. Mama haha ya ane tachi ni ijimerarete imashita ga.
シンデレラは毎日毎日ママ母や姉たちにいじめられていましたが
So Cinderella every single day or every day was treated badly by her a stepmother and elder sisters. So I should probably include this whole sentence in here.
頃にシンデレラというそれはけなげで美しい少女がいました。
この声。
シンデレラは毎
So, シンデレラは毎日ママ母や姉たちにいじめられていましたが、それでも一生 very hard with utmost effort, as hard as one can, with all one's might for dear life. So isho is one life, and then kenmei yeah, whole life, and then the second part comes from Kinmei, eager, earnest, earnest, fervent, assiduous, with utmost effort. So whole life effort, or in other words, as hard as you can. The utmost effort. See, Kinmei, state of suspension, hang, depend, consult, distant, and then fate. Depend on fate. It's eager, earnest. So, Isho Kinmei, sore demo, but still. So, but with that, essentially, or but still. Ga, okay, sore demo, Isho Kinmei, Hataraku, Hataraku, iko deshita. So, I guess, hard-working, good kid. Let's see. But let's see. So, but still, she with the utmost effort worked. See, but she was still a good girl who worked very hard. Is this supposed to be a sentence?
毎日ママ母や姉たちにいじめられていましたが、それでも一生懸命働く良い子でした。
Yeah, she said that is one sentence. Please explain the grammar of Please explain the grammar of Isho Genmei. It's Isho Genmei. Oh, that's considered a fukushi or adverb, but it's also a keidoshi, non-adjective, which also makes it a meiji noun. Taraku iko deshita. The segment is it uses a relative clause, attributive clause to modify the noun ko. Structure: verb in dictionary form plus noun. The phrase Isho kinmei Taraku works hard with all her might directly modifies Iko, a good child. Translation: a good child who works hard. In Japanese, there is no relative pronoun like who or that. The verb simply precedes the noun it describes. Tense. The verb hataraku is in the non-past dictionary form. In relative clauses, the non-past form is often used to describe characteristics or habitual traits of the noun, even if the main sentence is in the past tense. Dash site defines what kind of child she was. Doesn't verbs used to describe a noun usually get put into past tense? Japanese grammar attributive clause tense usage. Now, in Japanese relative clause, verbs do not automatically change to the past tense just because the main sentence. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. The tense of the verb inside the relative clause is determined by its timing relative to the main verb. Non-past stationary form used when the action is the relative clause happens at the same time as the main verb or represents habitual characteristics. Past top form used only when the action in the relative clause was completed before the main verb occurred. Oh, so if the descriptor verb is completed as habitual or completed at the same time, they use the dictionary form. and if it occurred beforehand, the descriptor clause happened beforehand, it's in past tense. So, それでも一生懸命働くいい子でした。So, in total, that'sシンデレラは毎日毎日ママ母や姉たちにいじめられていましたが、それでも一生懸命働くいい子でした。So, as for Cinderella, every single day her stepmother and sisters treated her badly, but despite that, or nevertheless, okay, she worked extremely. She was a good child that worked extremely hard. So, それでも一生懸命働くいい子でした。
姉たちにいじめられていましたが、それでも一生懸命働く良い子でした。
お兄ちゃん。
Let's see, something Seito Tachi. See, Joshi say Joshi, okay. Woman, girl, Joshi. I believe that's a more formal tone, if I understand it correctly. A formal way of saying it, Joshi. So, Joshi Seito Tachi. Kya Steki Kinomoto-kun, or the female students are saying, Kya, your wonderful Kinomoto-kun. Yikes, eek, ouch, or yes, or wow. Okay.
お兄様、人気がおありなんですね。
お兄様。
お兄様、人気がおありなんですね。
お兄様、人気が終わりなんですね。Ninki, popularity, public favor, basically persons and then mind or spirit. Or in other words, their popularity. Public favor, okay, tone, character, nature, okay. Ari nan desu. Please explain the grammar of Oari. This is the honorific keigo form of aru to exist. The structure o plus verb stem plus iru here conjugated as oari. O plus verb stem. There's no. Is used to elevate the status of the subject, while aru is the standard for inanimate objects. Using the honorific oari for a person's attributes is a common stylistic choice in formal Japanese to show deference. Nan desu ne. Okay, so. Okay, normalizing particle that adds explanatory nuance. Not particle. Part of the copula da, softened by the preceding to create a gentle affirmative tone. Okay, so it's basically non-connective da. So, wait, but we have des here. We don't need the copula. We don't need da in there. Please explain owari. Okay. The honorific respectful verb of aru to exist. Okay. Formation. It combines the honorific prefix o with the classical continuative form rinyo ke ari, the verb aru. Unlike standard polite forms like arimasu, tenkeigo, or gozaimasu, oari, sonkengo, respectful language. It elevates the subject of the sentence. See, what is the difference between teineigo and sankeigo? What is the difference between teineigo and sankeigo, or distinct categories within the Japanese keigo honorific system, differentiated by who receives the respect? Teineigo is a general polite register used to show respect to the listener through standard polite verbs, endings like mas or des. It is a baseline for polite conversation in most non-casual settings, such as speaking with acquaintances in shops or in general workplace interactions. It does not elevate a specific person's status but maintains social distance and politeness towards the addressee. Sankeigo is respectful language used to elevate the action, status, or position of the third party or the listener who is of higher social standing, such as a boss, customers, or teacher. It uses specific honorary vocabulary, irasharu, for to be, go, or come, osharu, to say, to linguistically place the subject above the speaker. Unlike teineigo, sankeigo targets a specific individual's actions rather than general politeness. So teineigo, okay, towards the listener. Sankeigo, towards the subject. Is what, okay, for directing respect. Primary function, teineigo, general politeness and social distance. Sankeigo, elevating the status actions of a superior or respected person. Key distinction, mas descendants and tenego. Let's see, in Sankeigo it's irasharu, osharu, and nasaru. Use this context. Tenego, daily polite conversation, shops, general business. Sankeigo, business, service industry, speaking about superiors. See, Adi is considered a oh, that's the word for and apparently. Noun which may take the genitive case particle no. See, Adi. Does Owari have a kanji? Kanji is blah or sometimes just that. Okay. So it's either this. Oh, that kanji used for the go or o honorific. Ari. Okay. Oh, that's an alternative kanji for that Ari. Okay. So this is the same word. So it's saying Ari is a noun. So that's probably the real reason why they're putting non there. They want to use the explanatory no, but to do that with a noun, you have to first put na in front of it and then no. So it's non-no, and non-no gets contracted to non. So, Oni-sama ninki ga owari nan desu ne. As for your brother, he has popularity. In other words, your brother's popular.
Cinderella, ちゃんと掃除してる。ま。
終わりなんですね。
シンデレラ、ちゃん。ま、ここ汚れて。
お兄様、人気が終わりなんですね。
シンデレラ、ちゃんと。
シンデレラ。let's see.
掃除してる。シンデレラ、ちゃんと。
ちゃんと掃除してる. So, are you properly cleaning? Are you cleaning properly? Okay, yes. Chanto soji shiteru. And this is in the continuous sense. Like, are you continuously properly cleaning?
Cinderella, ちゃんと掃除してる。 レラ。
ちゃんと掃除してる。
質問がありますか? Are there any questions? If not, we're going to raid, so please stick around for that. We're gonna raid Yumi Kurozawa, who's learning English. Let's see, the other raid's going to... We're gonna raid Keen Anxiety 93, who's playing Horizon 6. Okay, let's see, and as for the last raid... For the last raid, we're gonna raid a Yellow, who's currently drawing. Minasan, okiyotsukete, mata ashita. Goodbye, everyone. See you tomorrow.